Good morning.
Hello, Colonel Aldous Fowler?
Yes.
This is Agent of Doubt again.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing okay, but I have to ask you a favor.
Okay. What's that?
I need another 2-week extension on the fight we're supposed to have on YouTube.
Another 2 weeks. We just ironed out the. Don't touch that! It will give you ED. Look, we just ironed out the weather cannon, and I was about to display your frozen corpse in my lobby. What could possibly be more important than that?
Dude, I know how important this is. I'm training my pitbull to sick your balls with a laser.
Yeah, well, your pit bull better have some pretty big jaws.
Well, your balls better be covered in peanut butter, because I'm cheating. Anyways, I have something more important than our fight.
All right. What's that? All right, 2 weeks it is.
All right, man.
Good morning, Agent of Doubt.
Good morning, Grey Knight 7777.
How are you today? Thank you for taking my call, by the way.
No problem. What's up?
Well, I've been hearing some rumors, and I wanted to bring them to you first, rather than, act on what I've heard. I wanted to hear it, both sides of the story from you. I don't know how else to put this, but word on the street is that you got Bewildered Ape stocks, and you're prepared to be dropping them.
Oh, really? What you...
Yeah, I'm sorry, man. I mean, like, I know this is ridiculous to say, like, you're not some elite hacker, you just, some guy who makes YouTube videos, but there's the rumor out there. I'm sure it's just some nonsense, and you're just going to explain that it's just a story.
Yeah, there's no elite skills here. I mean, I do have motive, because he did come over to my channel and threaten my channel with multiple flags coming my way. And he has done a lot of damage to other YouTubers, hiding behind his anonymity and expecting them to behave, as if they have something to lose and he doesn't have anything to lose, so he just gets to run rampant.
Well, hold on a second. I mean, I go to your channel from time to time. I haven't seen any comments that he might have left there.
Well, I blocked him so that people wouldn't rally around that comment on that video and flag that video. He of course went around and said that I blocked him because I couldn't handle his arguments, but no, I take flagging very seriously.
Well, yeah, obviously, you have for years. It's one of the reasons why I've been following your channel. Well, one of many. But anyway, so you're supposed to be explaining to me why you didn't do any of these things, and you just gave me a motive for why you would do that sort of thing. I mean, that's not exactly vindication on your part.
Well,
But, Mike, I mean, you obviously, like you said, you're not an elite hacker.
No, I'm not an elite hacker.
This is kind of the holy grail of all this doc dropping. Like, they went after Jenny, they went after Laughing Witch, and they found that information out pretty quick. But Bewildered Ape, I mean, he's pretty solidly anonymous, and he's been keeping his head down. I'm sure you don't actually have these docs.
Well, if I were to look for these docs, I would probably start someplace simple, because I would assume that he's a simpleton. And I would probably look for his docs by checking the .com of his channel name, and then I would look that up in a whois search. But if I were to go that far, I would probably find that he may have paid for privacy with his host server so that he wouldn't have anyone be able to look up his docs that way. If I looked at it that way.
I didn't even know that you could do that.
Yeah. Well, surprise, there's more that you can do. Not that I'm an elite hacker with skills or nothing, but if I made it that far, I might not be, dissuaded like a thunder drone or a foot soldier, and I might look at other websites which happen to scrape information from whois databases and have historic records of who owns a domain. And if I were to do that, I might have found, a very unique name that I could, hypothetically plug into my Facebook page, as a search, because I hypothetically would have 3,000 atheist Facebook friends all over the world, and it would be really hard to be part of the YouTube atheist community and be a friend of anyone.
Friends with some of the friends
and not be, say 1 degree of separation away from me. So if I were to make it that far, I would probably find, a Facebook page pop up, at the top of the list, and if I were to look at it, it may have had a country of origin that would explain really strange accents.
Wait, so you're saying that you were able to find out his name from a historical whois database?
Yes.
And then you were able to find out what country he lives in by searching your Facebook?
If I were to have looked, that's probably what would happen. And if I were to compare that Facebook page to the website that was his channel name, I would find some similarities, such as stated levels of education and honors at different levels of those educations.
So you found his country of origin and the school that he went to, and you narrowed it down based on his degree and the extra honors that he received?
If I were to have looked further than that, I would have gone to, say, the graduation pictures for, different years that would correspond to when this person would have graduated. And if I were to have done that, I would have found that, yes, indeed, that very unique name is real and does belong to somebody in that very wonky-sounding country. And if I were to do that, I would find, with further investigation, that a master's thesis written at that school might, really fit the kind of politics that Bewildered Ape has on YouTube. And if I were to look even further, I would find articles about student activism, which would also match the kind of activism that Bewildered Ape has been a part of on YouTube.
Wow, man. I mean, it's not exactly like a fingerprint, but if you found all that information, that would be pretty damning and narrow it down to somebody that's pretty specific.
Yes, and if I were to have found this specific person, I would probably be very interested in one more thing, and that would be ironic justice.
Oh, that's the best kind of justice.
Yes, and I would probably be looking for this person's LinkedIn profile so that I could find a way for the same thing that he did to Thunderfoot to be revisited upon him.
If you were to do any of these things.
If. Big if. Yes.
Yeah.
If.
That's a lot of big ifs.
Yes. Big ifs.
Well, so now that you've hypothetically, if someone has this information, this is for someone who's already paying for privacy, and they're willing to block you or doc drop or and this person is willing to try and get your channel flag down and silence you by any means necessary. So how exactly is that going to work?
Well, I'm pretty sure that if I were to explain all this in a video, I would probably urge everyone to, download a copy of the video in case the video went down, And I would also probably go about archiving everything that I'd talked about so that, people wouldn't be beaten to the punch and this person wouldn't be able to delete all of these docs everywhere that they are.
Well, that would be a pretty good way of handling it.
Yes. And then I would probably take that archive and put it on a torrent server.
If you were to have any of this information.
Yes, if.
Well, it's a good thing you don't, then.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks for clearing that up, Mike.
No problem. Take care.
You too, man.
Smile, Pinocchio. Look at it this way. At least now you can be a real little boy, and you can feel all the pain that the rest of us human beings feel when assholes like you are in the world. Oh, and Aldous, I wasn't bluffing. Hey, Clyde. Hey, Clyde, are you ready for your voice-conditioned laser therapy? Here we go.
There, fuckers. It's Aldous Valor here.